Hello, and in this part 2 speaking video, I'm going to look at the topic, describe a piece of clothing you enjoy wearing. You should say what it is, where you bought it, how often you wear it, and explain why you enjoy wearing it. I guess this is probably true for a lot of people. My wardrobe is jam-packed full of clothes. But I tend to wear a small proportion of them because they are what I feel most comfy in. My old favourite is a hoodie that I've had for a good number of years now, so I've decided to talk about that item of clothing. I can't remember exactly when I got it, but it was roughly 5 years ago. It was given to me by my parents on my birthday, so it does have sentimental value, but the main reason for wearing it is comfort and practicality. In terms of colour, it's plain black with a logo on the front, and there is some writing on the back as well. I'm not into wearing loud colours, so I tend to wear a lot of black, and the good thing about this hoodie is that it goes with everything, so no matter what I'm wearing, it matches. Sadly, because it has been washed so many times, the colour has faded, so I tend to wear it more when I'm chilling at home nowadays. My mum keeps threatening to throw it away because it looks so washed out. Like I said, I usually only put it on at home now, but that is pretty much day in, day out. The only time I don't wear it is when it's in the wash. When I get new things, I'm scared to wear them because I don't want to spill anything on them and get a stain on them, whereas with older clothes, I don't care as much, so I think this is the major reason why I live in it, because I'm not worried about spillages. My mum actually bought me another one to replace this one because she was sick of seeing me in it. But it's not as comfortable as my old one, as the fabric feels stiff. One of these days I will have to switch over and start wearing it, but for the time being I am going to continue wearing this washed out and beloved one. Right, let's take a look at some of the language in here. There's a lot of language in this model answer. Jam-packed is an adjective. It can use to be describing public transport when there are a lot of people on it. The buses are always jam-packed. You can use it to describe places on Saturday afternoons. The city centre is jam-packed with people. So it means there is a lot in there. Remember to use I tend to for something that you do often or frequently. I tend to eat, I tend to use, I tend to wear. Comfortable is quite a tricky word to say, so often we shorten it to comfy because it's much easier to say and it's shorter. My old favourite. This is a favourite thing that you've had for a long time. And a hoodie, and I've chosen this item of clothing because it can be worn by both men and women, and they are quite fashionable, and it's quite a new word in English, and it describes these tops that have a hood, and so that's why we call them a hoodie. A good number of years. This is quite informal, so only use it in speaking, but it means quite a few years. Remember, when we're talking about clothing, it's uncountable, so we say a piece of clothing or an item of clothing. Roughly means about. Instead of saying I bought it, I've used the idea of it being given to me. It was given to me, just to get some more complex grammar in there. And you can say it has sentimental value, or when you want to emphasize or stress something, it does have sentimental value. This means it has a special meaning. So it might not be expensive or worth a lot of money, but it has a special meaning for you. Sentimental value. Comfort, we've got the adjective comfy. You can try to use the noun comfort as well. Practicality, it's practical. In terms of, when you're going to talk about something else, you can use in terms of, can also be used in IELTS writing as well. When we have something that is just mainly black, we say plain black. So there are no other colours on it, plain black. But it does have a logo. Any writing or company name like this is called a logo. I'm not into, I don't like. Loud colours. These are very bright colours like blue, red, yellow. So useful just to pop that in. Remember, it doesn't have to be true. You're just trying to get as much vocabulary in there as possible. I tend to wear a lot of black. It goes with everything. When we're talking about clothes, we use the phrasal verb to go with. This top goes with these trousers, and it means matches. So it matches everything, it looks good with everything, it goes with everything. So no matter what, it doesn't matter what I am wearing, it matches. It has been washed. Very good present perfect passive here. Whatever you're talking about, try and learn that phrase and use it. It has been washed so many times, the colour has faded. To fade means to lose the colour. So when you have something like black and you wash it and wash it and wash it, the colour changes to a grey colour, and this means the colour has faded. To chill at home, I'm trying to use some idiomatic expressions to get a higher band score. To chill means to relax. So when I'm chilling at home, when I'm relaxing at home, you can use mum, dad, wife, husband, whatever you want. Keeps threatening to throw it away. If somebody threatens to do something, they are telling you they're going to do something and they're getting quite angry about it. So like every day I say to my son, do your homework. 5 minutes later, have you done your homework? No. Right, do your homework. 5 minutes later, have you done your homework yet? No. So then I threaten him. If you don't do your homework, I'm taking your computer away. This is a threat. And so when somebody keeps saying something, often they don't do it. Often parents threaten things but don't actually do it. So you keep threatening. So my mum keeps saying, or my dad keeps saying, my husband keeps saying, I will throw it away. So they keep threatening to throw it away. Because it looks washed out. This means it has been washed so many times that it has faded. You can also describe a person looking washed out when they look a little bit ill, they look very pale and white, and they don't look very healthy. They look washed out. Like I said, useful little phrase when you might be just repeating yourself. I only put it on. To put something on means to wear. Pretty much day in, day out. Quite an informal expression meaning nearly every day. Pretty much, almost, day in, day out, every day. When it's in the wash, when something is in the wash, it doesn't mean it's in the washing machine. It can mean it's just ready to be washed. It's in the washing basket. So when my children say, where are my football shorts? They're in the wash. I'm saying they're at some point in the process of washing, so they cannot be worn. I'm scared, I'm frightened to wear it because I don't want to spill. To spill, if you're drinking something and you spill it, you drop it down yourself. So here on this hoodie you can see the person has spilt something. And if you spill something, you can get a stain like this, a mark. And if you wash it, the mark, the stain doesn't go away. So this is why I'm saying I like wearing this, because I'm not afraid of spilling anything and getting a stain. I live in it. This means I wear it all the time. I live in it. And I don't worry about spillages. Spillages is just another word for a spill. So you spill something, you get a stain. To replace, to get another one. To be sick of seeing something. Very useful expression when you're tired of seeing something. To be sick of, you can use it with other verbs. I'm sick of learning English. I'm sick of studying IELTS. I'm sick of watching your IELTS videos. So tired, bored, fed up with. So because I've said comfy, I'm using comfortable as well to show the grammatical range. The fabric is the material that the product is made out of. The fabric feels stiff. When it's stiff, it's quite hard. It's not soft. On older things, they're softer. Whereas when you get something new, it feels quite stiff. One of these days, quite informal expression again, but meaning soon. One of these days. To switch over, to change over. But for the time being, again, quite informal. For now, but now, for the time being, I'm going to continue wearing this washed out. So it's washed out, it's faded, and beloved. So I love it a lot. So it's a beloved item of clothing. A huge amount of vocabulary in this answer. Some that can be used for other answers like day in, day out, for the time being. I'm sick of doing something. However, some specific for this topic like spill, spillages, stain, to put something on, comfortable, comfy, the fabric, is it plain black, does it have a logo, it was given to me by. So quite a good topic if you get this one, and you can remember as much vocabulary as possible because there is a lot of complex vocabulary that you can use in this topic. Let's take a look now at one part 3 question connected with this topic. What's the difference in the style of dressing between young and old people? In the past, I guess there was a clear difference between them, with the young wearing casual, trendy stuff, whereas the oldies tended to wear old-fashioned, formal clothes. Nowadays, though, the boundaries have blurred and all clothing styles are accessible to everyone, and it would be wrong to stereotype one group as being casual and the other as being smart. Now, IELTS asks many of these questions comparing old and young people, like musical taste, TV taste, ways of dressing, and I hate this because I think nowadays there's not as much difference between young and old people. And this is because the boundaries have blurred. To blur the boundaries is maybe before you had a boundary, like a separation between young and old. But now the boundaries have blurred. This means there are fewer differences between things. So in the past there was a clear difference, with the young liking casual, that's the opposite of smart, trendy stuff, fashionable things. The oldies, it's quite an informal way of saying old people. They tended to wear, they used to wear old-fashioned, formal, so very smart clothes. But the boundaries are blurred and all clothing styles are accessible, are available to everyone. And so if you've got one of these questions, whereas, what's the difference between young and old people, it would be wrong to stereotype. And this means to say, this group of people likes this, and this group of people likes this. Because I don't think you can do that easily nowadays. And so you have young people who can be very smart, you can have old people who are very casual and very trendy. So that's one way of answering this kind of answer. And so if you can remember, it would be wrong to stereotype. The boundaries have blurred. This is very complex vocabulary. So you don't have a clear boundary between one group and the other. And I think this is true now of nationalities. I think because of globalization and increased connection through the internet, the boundaries have blurred and the differences between different races, different age groups are not as great as they used to be. Hope you found this useful. There's a lot of vocabulary in this video. Don't try to learn everything, but try and pick out a few words and phrases that you feel comfortable using, that you can pronounce well, and try to learn those. Thank you for watching.